この薬は3時間おきに飲んでください。
This medicine should be taken every 3 hours. This medicine should be taken every 3 hours.
おじは学校の近くに住んでいます。
My uncle lives near the school. My uncle lives near the school.
床屋に行く時間ですよ。
It's time you went to the barber's. It's time you went to the barber's.
ナンシーはパリばかりでなくロンドンにも行きました。
Nancy went to London as well as Paris. Nancy went to London as well as Paris.
少し下げてみませんか？
Would you like to turn it down a little? Would you like to turn it down a little?
彼の顔は本当に生き生きしていました。
His face became really animated. His face became really animated.
この氷は割れそうです。
This ice is going to crack. This ice is going to crack.
大学時代の思い出が頭に浮かびます。
Memories of my college days come to my mind. Memories of my college days come to my mind.
ペンはありますか？
Do you have a pen? Do you have a pen?
学問と常識は別物です。
Learning is one thing, and common sense is another. Learning is one thing, and common sense is another.
瓶を落とさないように注意してください。
Take care not to drop the bottle. Take care not to drop the bottle.
運動するときは無理をしないようにしましょう。
Take it easy when exercising. Take it easy when exercising.
何か予定はある？
Have you got any plans? Have you got any plans?
私は良い一日を過ごしています。
I'm having a good day. I'm having a good day.
教会は森と湖に囲まれています。
The church is surrounded by woods and lakes. The church is surrounded by woods and lakes.
あなたはすぐに出発した方がいいです。
You may as well begin at once. You may as well begin at once.
お父さんによろしくお伝えください。
Say hello to your father for me. Say hello to your father for me.
この手紙をタイプしてください。
Type this letter for me. Type this letter for me.
姉は去年の6月に高校の先生と結婚しました。
My sister married a high school teacher last June. My sister married a high school teacher last June.
電話がないと不便です。
Without telephones, it would be inconvenient. Without telephones, it would be inconvenient.
生徒たちはみんな夏休みを楽しみにしていました。
The students were all looking forward to the summer vacation. The students were all looking forward to the summer vacation.
救急車が必要ですか？
Do you need an ambulance? Do you need an ambulance?
医者は患者に十分な休息を取るよう主張しました。
The doctor insisted that the patient get plenty of rest. The doctor insisted that the patient get plenty of rest.
そのままお待ちください。彼に電話させます。
Please hang on. I'll put him on the phone. Please hang on. I'll put him on the phone.
すぐに戻ります。
I will be back soon. I will be back soon.
あらかじめスケジュールを教えてください。
Please let me know the schedule beforehand. Please let me know the schedule beforehand.
ここから駅まで2マイルあります。
It's 2 miles from here to the station. It's 2 miles from here to the station.
ベッドで寝ている男の子は天使のようです。
A boy sleeping in bed seems to be an angel. A boy sleeping in bed seems to be an angel.
何かうまくいかないことがあれば、私がその結果に責任を負います。
If anything goes wrong, I'll answer for the consequences. If anything goes wrong, I'll answer for the consequences.
そこに着いたら教えてください。
Please let me know when we get there. Please let me know when we get there.
アクセントから判断すると、彼はテキサス出身に違いありません。
Judging from his accent, he must be from Texas. Judging from his accent, he must be from Texas.
これで虫を寄せ付けないようになります。
This will keep bugs off. This will keep bugs off.
バスがなかったので、私は歩かなければならなかったです。
Since there was no bus, I had to walk. Since there was no bus, I had to walk.
その間に彼は眠りにつきました。
In the meantime, he went to sleep. In the meantime, he went to sleep.
彼は橋の反対側に立っています。
He is standing at the other end of the bridge. He is standing at the other end of the bridge.
今週は今のところどうですか？
How's this week going so far? How's this week going so far?
彼らがその家を建てるのに2年かかりました。
It took them 2 years to build the house. It took them 2 years to build the house.
急がなくてもよかったのに。
You didn't need to hurry. You didn't need to hurry.
多くの場合、飢饉は疫病を伴います。
More often than not, famine is accompanied by plague. More often than not, famine is accompanied by plague.
それは私にとっても同じです。
It's the same to me. It's the same to me.
には1年を通して気温が均一です。
This country has an even temperature throughout the year. This country has an even temperature throughout the year.
皆さん勤勉ですね。
All of you are diligent. All of you are diligent.
その説明は決して満足のいくものではないです。
The explanation is by no means satisfactory. The explanation is by no means satisfactory.
彼の家からネズミを追い出しました。
We rid his house of mice. We rid his house of mice.
うちの大学は電気を使いすぎています。
Our college uses far too much electricity. Our college uses far too much electricity.
君か君の弟のどちらかが間違っています。
Either you or your brother is wrong. Either you or your brother is wrong.
一晩考えさせてください。
Let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on it.
ドアのそばに立っている人は有名な歌手です。
The man standing by the door is a famous singer. The man standing by the door is a famous singer.
私たちは政府の経済政策を研究しました。
We studied the government's economic policy. We studied the government's economic policy.
グリーン先生が私に英語を教えてくれました。
Miss Green taught me English. Miss Green taught me English.
少年は腹ばいになってテレビを見ていました。
The boy was lying on his stomach watching TV. The boy was lying on his stomach watching TV.
もっと食べないとすぐに良くなりませんよ。
You should eat more, or you won't get well soon. You should eat more, or you won't get well soon.
氷がとても熱いです。
The ice is very thick. The ice is very thick.
学べば学ぶほど自分の無知に気づくことができます。
The more we learn, the better we realize our ignorance. The more we learn, the better we realize our ignorance.
妙な噂が流れています。
There are strange rumors afloat. There are strange rumors afloat.
あなたはとても親切です。
It's very kind of you. It's very kind of you.
できるだけ早く出発した方がいいですよ。
You should start as early as you can. You should start as early as you can.
バスは次々に出発しました。
The buses left one after another. The buses left one after another.
私たちは今年の夏はひどい水不足に苦しんでいます。
We are suffering from a severe water shortage this summer. We are suffering from a severe water shortage this summer.
間もなく彼はまた来ました。
It wasn't long before he came again. It wasn't long before he came again.
あなたの年齢なら私もそう思います。
At your age, I would think so too. At your age, I would think so too.
ブラブラしているだけでも旅の楽しみになります。
Just wandering around can be a good way to travel. Just wandering around can be a good way to travel.
この写真を見ると必ず父のことを思い出します。
I never see this picture without thinking of my father. I never see this picture without thinking of my father.
年老いた医師は患者さん一人一人に丁寧に対応してくれました。
The old doctor gave individual attention to each patient. The old doctor gave individual attention to each patient.
一部の患者はほとんど正常に見えました。
Some patients seemed almost normal. Some patients seemed almost normal.
さあ、仕事を始めましょう。
Well, let's start our work. Well, let's start our work.
1時間後に出発します。
I leave in an hour. I leave in an hour.
その言い訳は通用しません。
That excuse will not do. That excuse will not do.
6時に会いましょう。
I'll see you at 6. I'll see you at 6.
この問題は私には理解できません。
This problem is beyond me. This problem is beyond me.
彼女は男がついてくるのに気づいて怖くなりました。
She became scared when she noticed the man following her. She became scared when she noticed the man following her.
喫煙が彼の肺に影響を与えています。
Smoking has affected his lungs. Smoking has affected his lungs.
励ましていただきありがとうございます。
Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for your encouragement.
このカレンダーはどこにかけたらいいですか？
Where shall I hang this calendar? Where shall I hang this calendar?
フォークがテーブルから落ちました。
A fork fell off the table. A fork fell off the table.
アイスクリームのコーンをもう一個食べたいと思います。
I think I will have one more ice cream cone. I think I will have one more ice cream cone.
家は2マイル離れています。
The house is 2 miles off. The house is 2 miles off.
ストレスの原因として一般的なのは仕事や人間関係です。
Common causes of stress are work and human relationships. Common causes of stress are work and human relationships.
どうやら明日は雨になりそうです。
Evidently, it's going to rain tomorrow. Evidently, it's going to rain tomorrow.
あなたの犬はどうしていますか？
What's become of your dog? What's become of your dog?
しかし、地震は相変わらず恐ろしいです。
But earthquakes are still as frightening as ever. But earthquakes are still as frightening as ever.
申し訳ありませんが、うまくいきませんでした。
Sorry it didn't work out. Sorry it didn't work out.
調査のために来ました。
I'm just here to do some research. I'm just here to do some research.
オーストリアとオーストラリアを混同しないでください。
Don't confuse Austria with Australia. Don't confuse Austria with Australia.
このオレンジをください。
Can I have this orange? Can I have this orange?
地球の表面の3分の1は砂漠です。
1/3 of the Earth's surface is desert. 1/3 of the Earth's surface is desert.
彼は入ってきてコーヒーを一杯頼みました。
He came in and asked for a cup of coffee. He came in and asked for a cup of coffee.
スミス先生は私たちの英語の先生です。
Mrs. Smith is our English teacher. Mrs. Smith is our English teacher.
ちょっとお話ししてもいいですか？
May I talk with you for a moment? May I talk with you for a moment?
いずれにしても、あなたには関係ありません。
In any case, it's no business of yours. In any case, it's no business of yours.
またお会いしたいです。
I hope to see you again. I hope to see you again.
恐れることは何もありません。
Afraid of. Afraid of.
私は彼が君を信頼していると確信しています。
I am sure of his trusting you. I am sure of his trusting you.
この部屋は暑すぎて仕事にならないです。
This room is too hot for us to work in. This room is too hot for us to work in.
これを預かってもらえますか？
Could you keep this for me? Could you keep this for me?
私はその店でカメラを修理してもらいました。
I had my camera repaired at that shop. I had my camera repaired at that shop.
遠くに島が見えます。
We can see the island in the distance. We can see the island in the distance.
あまり他人に頼ってはいけません。
Don't rely too much on others. Don't rely too much on others.
ちょっとお会いしたいのですが。
Could I see you a minute, please? Could I see you a minute, please?
私はあなたをバックアップします。
I will back you up. I will back you up.
その女性は私を不当に非難しました。
That woman has wrongly accused me. That woman has wrongly accused me.
彼は来ないでしょう。
I should say he won't come. I should say he won't come.
医者の忠告に従うべきです。
You should follow the doctor's advice. You should follow the doctor's advice.
このスーツケースから目を離さないでくださいね。
Keep an eye on this suitcase. Keep an eye on this suitcase.
あなたは何か考えがありますか？
Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea?
すっかり秋になりましたね。
It has become quite autumnal. It has become quite autumnal.
犬は水を飲んで立ち去りました。
The dog drank some water and went away. The dog drank some water and went away.
彼に会うたびに彼はニコニコしています。
Every time I see him, he is smiling. Every time I see him, he is smiling.
パンクしてしまいました。
I got a flat tire. I got a flat tire.
靴底にガムが付着していました。
The gum adhered to the sole of the shoe. The gum adhered to the sole of the shoe.
スーザンの部屋はとても暗かったです。
It was very dark in Susan's room. It was very dark in Susan's room.
メアリーはトムを軽蔑していた。
Mary was scornful of Tom. Mary was scornful of Tom.
あなたはそれがすべて間違っている。
You've got it all wrong. You've got it all wrong.
パスポートを取るのに最適な方法は何ですか？
What's the best way for me to get a passport? What's the best way for me to get a passport?
カナダでは何語を話しているのでしょうか？
What languages do they speak in Canada? What languages do they speak in Canada?
カーテンが取り外されていました。
The curtains were taken down. The curtains were taken down.
父はバス停まで走りました。
Father ran to the bus stop. Father ran to the bus stop.
デザートにケーキをいただきたいのですが。
I'd like to have cake for dessert. I'd like to have cake for dessert.
ハワイへ行ったことがありますか？
Have you ever been to Hawaii? Have you ever been to Hawaii?
この権利はどんな犠牲を払っても守られなければなりません。
This right must be protected at all costs. This right must be protected at all costs.
どれくらいここにいますか？
How long have they been here? How long have they been here?
それはほとんど意味のない議論でした。
It was an argument of little substance. It was an argument of little substance.
その本を元あった場所に戻してください。
Put the book back where you found it. Put the book back where you found it.
ボブは芝刈りに1時間10ドルを請求しました。
Bob charged $10 an hour for mowing lawns. Bob charged $10 an hour for mowing lawns.
本題から離れましょう。
Let's get off the subject. Let's get off the subject.
その国は鉱物資源に恵まれています。
That country is rich in mineral resources. That country is rich in mineral resources.
その絵は少なくとも1000ドルはするでしょう。
The painting will cost at least $1,000. The painting will cost at least $1,000.
あなたがそう言うのももっともですが、私は同意できません。
You may well say so, but I cannot agree. You may well say so, but I cannot agree.
リストに戻してほしいです。
I'd like you to put me back on the list. I'd like you to put me back on the list.
ヘレンは毎週日曜日におじさんを訪ねます。
Helen visits her uncle every Sunday. Helen visits her uncle every Sunday.
ベイカーさんは財布を盗まれました。
Mrs. Baker had her purse stolen. Mrs. Baker had her purse stolen.
オートバイを修理してもらったらどうですか？
Why don't you have your motorcycle fixed up? Why don't you have your motorcycle fixed up?
これらの商品は品質よりも量の方が多いです。
These goods are greater in quantity than in quality. These goods are greater in quantity than in quality.
この申し込み用紙に記入してください。
Fill out this application form. Fill out this application form.
そういう気分ではありません。
I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood.
すぐに部屋に入ってください。
Enter the room at once. Enter the room at once.
彼らは独自の特徴を持っています。
They have their own special characteristics. They have their own special characteristics.
どの学生でもこの問題を解くことができます。
Any student can solve this problem. Any student can solve this problem.
アメリカの都市人口は増加しています。
The urban population of America is increasing. The urban population of America is increasing.
アフリカは大陸ですが、グリーンランドは違います。
Africa is a continent, but Greenland is not. Africa is a continent, but Greenland is not.
ハエが天井に止まっています。
The fly is on the ceiling. The fly is on the ceiling.
その家の買い手がまだ見つかっていないそうです。
They still haven't found a buyer for that house. They still haven't found a buyer for that house.
私はいつも歩いて学校へ行きます。
I always walk to school. I always walk to school.
何が起ころうと、私は覚悟ができています。
No matter what happens, I am prepared. No matter what happens, I am prepared.
私は 100% 確信しています。
I'm 100% certain. I'm 100% certain.
物を買う前に相談するのはいいことです。
It's good to talk things over before you buy something. It's good to talk things over before you buy something.
ともかく明日電話するよ。
In any case, I'll call you tomorrow. In any case, I'll call you tomorrow.
その木の枝に何羽かの鳥が止まっています。
Some birds are sitting on the branch of that tree. Some birds are sitting on the branch of that tree.
物件はロンダリングされた政治資金で購入されました。
The property was purchased with laundered political money. The property was purchased with laundered political money.
何か気がかりなことがありますか？
Is something on your mind? Is something on your mind?
昨日窓を壊したのは彼でした。
It was him that broke the window yesterday. It was him that broke the window yesterday.
この建物は国家遺産として残すべきです。
This building should be kept as a national heritage. This building should be kept as a national heritage.
金曜日が締め切りのプロジェクトに追われています。
I'm tied up with a project that is due Friday. I'm tied up with a project that is due Friday.
どのゲートで乗ればいいですか？
What gate do I board at? What gate do I board at?
それは私のと同じ色です。
That is the same color as mine. That is the same color as mine.
その映画は面白いと言われています。
They say that the movie is an interesting one. They say that the movie is an interesting one.
あなたが勝てば、私は家族全員のために夕食を作ります。
You win and I cook dinner for the entire family. You win and I cook dinner for the entire family.
私はその知らせに驚きました。
I was astonished at the news. I was astonished at the news.
すぐにかかりつけの医者に診てもらった方がいいですよ。
You'd better go to see your family doctor at once. You'd better go to see your family doctor at once.
悪天候のため彼らはピクニックに行けなかったです。
Bad weather discouraged them from going on a picnic. Bad weather discouraged them from going on a picnic.
すみません。ただいま話し中です。
Sorry, the line is busy now. Sorry, the line is busy now.
飲み物を注文したいのですが。
I would like to order drinks now. I would like to order drinks now.
少年は校則を守れませんでした。
The boy could not live up to the school rules. The boy could not live up to the school rules.
この薬を飲めば風邪は治るでしょう。
This medicine will cure your cold. This medicine will cure your cold.
ワインを取ってください。
Pass me the wine, please. Pass me the wine, please.
彼女はひどい風邪をひきました。
She had a bad cold. She had a bad cold.
私は彼にうんざりしています。
I'm fed up with him. I'm fed up with him.
あなたは本当に好奇心旺盛ですね。
You are really full of curiosity, aren't you? You are really full of curiosity, aren't you?
重力は惑星と太陽を結びつけます。
Gravity binds the planets to the sun. Gravity binds the planets to the sun.
ここでタバコを吸ってもいいですか？
Do you mind if I smoke here? Do you mind if I smoke here?
会ったこともなく、彼女のことは知りませんでした。
Not having seen her before, I did not know her. Not having seen her before, I did not know her.
その事実が明るみに出ました。
The fact was brought to light. The fact was brought to light.
ハイキングには秋が一番です。
Autumn is the best season for going on hikes. Autumn is the best season for going on hikes.
こんな美しい夕焼けは見たことがないです。
Never did I see such a beautiful sunset. Never did I see such a beautiful sunset.
それは決まっていません。
It's up in the air. It's up in the air.
一人$1000を支払いました。
Each individual paid $1,000. Each individual paid $1,000.
なぜありのままを受け止められないのですか？
Why can't you take things just as they are? Why can't you take things just as they are?
おじは私たちに新しいテレビを持ってきてくれました。
My uncle brought a new TV set for us. My uncle brought a new TV set for us.
もうこれ以上伸ばすわけにはいきません。
I can't put it off any longer. I can't put it off any longer.
果物はすぐに腐りがちです。
Fruits tend to decay soon. Fruits tend to decay soon.
それは話になりません。
It's out of the question. It's out of the question.
今何時ですか？
What time is it now? What time is it now?
喜びは悲しみの対極にある。
Delight is the opposite of sorrow. Delight is the opposite of sorrow.
気になる方は一緒に来てください。
If you care to, you may come with us. If you care to, you may come with us.
その女性たちは図書館の前にいます。
The women are in front of a library. The women are in front of a library.
ジムは車の運転の仕方を習っています。
Jim is learning how to drive a car. Jim is learning how to drive a car.
深く感動すること間違いなしの映画です。
You are certain to be moved deeply by the movie. You are certain to be moved deeply by the movie.
もう少しで満点を取るところでした。
I almost got a perfect score. I almost got a perfect score.
これがあなたへの手紙です。
Here is a letter for you. Here is a letter for you.
どうしてメアリーは彼とピクニックに行くの？
How come Mary is going on a picnic with him? How come Mary is going on a picnic with him?
スミスさんにお会いしたいのですが。
I would like to see Mr. Smith. I would like to see Mr. Smith.
すべてがうまくいくでしょう。
Everything will be all right. Everything will be all right.
私はよく湖にスケートに行ったものです。
I would often go skating on the lake. I would often go skating on the lake.
お友達が申請書を送ってくれるといいですね。
I hope your friend sends in an application. I hope your friend sends in an application.
それは上下に跳ねました。
It bounced up and down. It bounced up and down.
もう学校へ行く時間だ。
It is time you went to school. It is time you went to school.
その事故は交通渋滞を引き起こしました。
The accident caused a traffic jam. The accident caused a traffic jam.
痩せるためのいい運動になります。
This is a good exercise to help you lose weight. This is a good exercise to help you lose weight.
彼と一緒にいると楽しいです。
He's fun to be around. He's fun to be around.
スーパーに買い物に行きます。
I'm going shopping at the supermarket. I'm going shopping at the supermarket.
素晴らしい時間を過ごしています。
I'm having a great time. I'm having a great time.
たまにしか使っていませんでした。
It was used only from time to time. It was used only from time to time.
その車はとても速いです。
The car is very fast. The car is very fast.
ぜひパーティーに来てください。
You must come to the party by all means. You must come to the party by all means.
これらの問題は近い将来解決されるでしょう。
These problems will be solved in the near future. These problems will be solved in the near future.
クラブの規則を守らなければなりません。
You must observe the rules of the club. You must observe the rules of the club.
着いたら彼に来るように言ってあげてくださいね。
When you get there, please tell him to come. When you get there, please tell him to come.
外国人観光客には非課税の特権を与えています。
We give foreign tourists the privilege of tax exemption. We give foreign tourists the privilege of tax exemption.
ソニアはとても楽しそうな表情をしていました。
Sonia had a very amused look on her face. Sonia had a very amused look on her face.
お噂はかねがね伺っております。
I've heard all about you. I've heard all about you.
君は僕の気分を良くしてくれる。
You make me feel good. You make me feel good.
どの靴を履きますか？
Which shoes are you going to put on? Which shoes are you going to put on?
部屋の反対側に座ります。
I sit at the other end of the room. I sit at the other end of the room.
ジョージは犬に鎖をつけました。
George put a chain on the dog. George put a chain on the dog.
そのハサミは切れません。
The scissors are not sharp. The scissors are not sharp.
あなたの新しいドレスはあなたにとてもよく似合っています。
Your new dress becomes you very well. Your new dress becomes you very well.
話が複雑すぎてついていけなかったです。
The story was so complicated that I couldn't follow it. The story was so complicated that I couldn't follow it.
あなたは私と来ますか？
Are you coming with me? Are you coming with me?
この肉は腐っています。
This meat has gone bad. This meat has gone bad.
ホテルに泊まる予定です。
I'm planning to stay at the hotel. I'm planning to stay at the hotel.
子供は何かがぶつかって落ちる音を聞きました。
The child heard something fall with a crash. The child heard something fall with a crash.
あなたは素晴らしい性格です。
You've got a great personality. You've got a great personality.
その計画は長期的には失敗するでしょうね。
That plan will probably fail in the long run. That plan will probably fail in the long run.
新しいデザインは古いものよりずっといいです。
The new designs are much better than the old ones. The new designs are much better than the old ones.
展覧会に行ったことがありますか？
Have you ever been to an exhibition? Have you ever been to an exhibition?
そのような先生は引退した方がいいかもしれません。
Such a teacher may as well retire from his work. Such a teacher may as well retire from his work.
医者は彼を呼び戻しました。
The doctor called him back. The doctor called him back.
何人かの子供が海で泳いでいます。
Some children are swimming in the sea. Some children are swimming in the sea.
午後5時にそこへ行きます。
I'll be there at 5 p.m. I'll be there at 5 p.m.
彼女の最後の質問は彼女の他の興味についてです。
Her last question is about her other interest. Her last question is about her other interest.
ズボンを買いたいです。
I want to buy a pair of trousers. I want to buy a pair of trousers.
彼は病気で寝ています。
He is ill in bed. He is ill in bed.
その光景は私の記憶にはっきりと刻み込まれました。
The scene was clearly printed in my memory. The scene was clearly printed in my memory.
私にとってその質問に答えるのは難しいです。
It is difficult for me to answer the question. It is difficult for me to answer the question.
あなたが助けてくれなかったら私は失敗していたでしょう。
If you had not helped me, I would have failed. If you had not helped me, I would have failed.
犬は通りを横切りました。
The dog walked across the street. The dog walked across the street.
私は宿題を始めなければならないと思います。
I think I have to begin working on my homework. I think I have to begin working on my homework.
彼を尊敬します。
I look up to him. I look up to him.
またお会いできて嬉しいです。
Pleased to meet you again. Pleased to meet you again.
お待たせいたしました。
Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience.
私はあなたにとても会いたいです。
I'm dying to see you. I'm dying to see you.
この牛乳は雑菌が入っていません。
This milk is free from germs. This milk is free from germs.
安全なスピードで運転した方がいいですよ。
You should drive at a safe speed. You should drive at a safe speed.
休日の交通は高速道路をのろのろと進みました。
The holiday traffic crawled along the highway. The holiday traffic crawled along the highway.
これが私が探していた鍵です。
This is the key which I have been looking for. This is the key which I have been looking for.
その家は変わった形をしていて目立っていました。
The house stood out because of its unusual shape. The house stood out because of its unusual shape.
このメディアには記録できません。
It is not possible to record in this media. It is not possible to record in this media.
その話はとても面白かったです。
The story was very interesting. The story was very interesting.
すぐに調査しなければなりません。
We must look into the matter at once. We must look into the matter at once.
その都市は最近急速に拡大しました。
The city has rapidly expanded recently. The city has rapidly expanded recently.
あの映画スターにはファンが多いです。
That movie star has many fans. That movie star has many fans.
あなたは彼の言うことにもっと注意を払うべきです。
You should pay more attention to what he says. You should pay more attention to what he says.
どちらに置きましょうか。
Where would you like me to put this? Where would you like me to put this?
あのレストランはサービスがいいです。
They give good service at that restaurant. They give good service at that restaurant.
誰かがこのソファーで寝ていました。
Somebody has been sleeping on this sofa. Somebody has been sleeping on this sofa.
エジソンは創意工夫を凝らした人でした。
Edison was an ingenious person. Edison was an ingenious person.
リサは2部屋ある家を持っています。
Lisa has a house which has 2 rooms. Lisa has a house which has 2 rooms.
木の下で眠るのは気持ちがいいです。
It is pleasant to sleep under the tree. It is pleasant to sleep under the tree.
パリにいらしたらご案内します。
When you come to Paris, I'll show you around. When you come to Paris, I'll show you around.
あなたはそれに取り組む必要があります。
You need to work at it. You need to work at it.
オーケストラについてのあなたの話を聞かずにはいられませんでした。
I couldn't help overhearing what you said about an orchestra. I couldn't help overhearing what you said about an orchestra.
そんな不注意な間違いをしないように。
Don't make such careless mistakes. Don't make such careless mistakes.
それは私が期待したものではありません。
It's not what I expected. It's not what I expected.
彼は時間があれば来るでしょう。
If he has time, he will come. If he has time, he will come.
あの店は輸入品をたくさん売っています。
That store sells a lot of imported goods. That store sells a lot of imported goods.
いつもはこのサービスステーションで車にガソリンを入れています。
I usually gas up the car at this service station. I usually gas up the car at this service station.
5時に空港に迎えに来てください。
Please pick me up at the airport at 5. Please pick me up at the airport at 5.
この商品は免税品です。
These goods are free of tax. These goods are free of tax.
このようにして事件は起こったのです。
This is how the incident happened. This is how the incident happened.
洪水で村は大きな被害を受けました。
The flood did a lot of damage to the village. The flood did a lot of damage to the village.
ヨーロッパ旅行中に電車でスリに遭いました。
While traveling in Europe, I was pickpocketed on a train. While traveling in Europe, I was pickpocketed on a train.
私たちは数分後に離陸します。
We will take off in a few minutes. We will take off in a few minutes.
そんなに早く話さないでください。
Please don't speak so fast. Please don't speak so fast.
部屋に入ると彼女はピアノを弾いていました。
Entering the room, I found her playing the piano. Entering the room, I found her playing the piano.
あの靴が合うかもしれません。
Perhaps that pair of shoes will fit me. Perhaps that pair of shoes will fit me.
もっと早く来ればよかったのに。
You should have come earlier. You should have come earlier.
この像は実物大です。
This statue is as large as life. This statue is as large as life.
もっと小さいサイズはありますか？
Do you have any smaller sizes? Do you have any smaller sizes?
その話は長い年月を経て伝わりました。
The story has come down through many years. The story has come down through many years.
これは彼らの仕事のチェックになるでしょう。
This will serve as a check on their work. This will serve as a check on their work.
彼はそれをやったことがありますか？
Has he done it before? Has he done it before?
曲線は A 点から B 点まで伸びています。
The curve extends from point A to point B. The curve extends from point A to point B.
私に電話する必要はありません。
You need not telephone me. You need not telephone me.
私は家にいるより外出する方が好きです。
I prefer going out to staying at home. I prefer going out to staying at home.
もしその計画が実行不可能だと分かったら、どうしなければなりませんか？
What must be done if the plan proves unworkable? What must be done if the plan proves unworkable?
12人がマンチェスターの裁判所に出頭することになっています。
12 people are to appear in court in Manchester. 12 people are to appear in court in Manchester.
違いはありません。
It doesn't make any differences. It doesn't make any differences.
雨が降らないか心配だと言っていました。
He said that he was afraid it would be rainy. He said that he was afraid it would be rainy.
私は規則から誰も除外できません。
I can accept no one from the rules. I can accept no one from the rules.
彼は椅子に座っています。
He is sitting on the chair. He is sitting on the chair.
どこへ行っても歓迎されるでしょう。
Wherever you may go, you'll be welcomed. Wherever you may go, you'll be welcomed.
いかがですか？
How do you like that? How do you like that?
ニュースがないのはいいニュースです。
No news is good news. No news is good news.
彼らはいつ帰宅したのですか？
When did they go home? When did they go home?
あなたはそれをすべきではなかったです。
You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that.
ライオンはジャングルの王様です。
The lion is the king of the jungle. The lion is the king of the jungle.
私はそれについてすべてを知っている。
I know all about it. I know all about it.
あなたが駅で会った人は私の父です。
The man you met at the station is my father. The man you met at the station is my father.
この機械は電気で動きます。
This machine works by electricity. This machine works by electricity.
お肉は滑らかで柔らかいです。
The meat is smooth and soft. The meat is smooth and soft.
計画を立てたらそれを守りましょう。
Once you have a plan, you should keep to it. Once you have a plan, you should keep to it.
メアリーは自分が見た事故について触れなかったです。
Mary didn't refer to the accident she had seen. Mary didn't refer to the accident she had seen.
私たちは生きている限り働かなければなりません。
We must work as long as we live. We must work as long as we live.
バス停を見つけるのに苦労しました。
We had much difficulty in finding the bus stop. We had much difficulty in finding the bus stop.
私が本を読んでいる間は彼を中に入れてはいけません。
Don't let him in while I'm reading. Don't let him in while I'm reading.
彼は賢いかもしれませんが、ケアレスミスをすることが多いです。
He may be clever, but he often makes careless mistakes. He may be clever, but he often makes careless mistakes.
英語は世界の多くの地域で話されています。
English is spoken in many parts of the world. English is spoken in many parts of the world.
ステーキとキャビアは大好物です。
Steak and caviar are my favorite dishes. Steak and caviar are my favorite dishes.
ジョンはたまにお酒を飲みすぎてしまうことがあります。
John sometimes goes overboard in drinking. John sometimes goes overboard in drinking.
このチャンスを逃さないように気をつけてください。
Take care not to throw away this chance. Take care not to throw away this chance.
学生たちは休暇を待ち焦がれています。
Students are longing for the vacation. Students are longing for the vacation.
彼が来る前に夕食は全部食べてしまっていました。
All the dinner had been eaten before he came. All the dinner had been eaten before he came.
いいんじゃないかな。
I don't see why not. I don't see why not.
それは真実ですか？偽りですか？
Is it true or false? Is it true or false?
雨が止んだら野球をしましょう。
Let's play baseball when the rain stops. Let's play baseball when the rain stops.
また近いうちにお会いできるのを楽しみにしています。
I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon. I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon.
それが交渉のベースになることを期待していました。
He hoped it would lead to a basis for negotiation. He hoped it would lead to a basis for negotiation.
その川は両国の間を流れています。
The river flows between the two countries. The river flows between the two countries.
何を心配していますか？
What are you worried about? What are you worried about?
これより大きい犬はいません。
It's bigger than this. It's bigger than this.
空腹時に飲むのは特にいけません。
You should especially not drink on an empty stomach. You should especially not drink on an empty stomach.
車から降りましょう。
Let's get out of the car now. Let's get out of the car now.
音楽の趣味がいいですね。
You have good taste in music. You have good taste in music.
ドアに指を挟みました。
I caught my finger in the door. I caught my finger in the door.
どっちに行くかかなり途方に暮れていました。
We were quite at a loss which way to go. We were quite at a loss which way to go.
交通事故の数は近年増加しています。
The number of traffic accidents has increased in recent years. The number of traffic accidents has increased in recent years.
あの箱はこの箱より大きいです。
That box is bigger than this one. That box is bigger than this one.
ファッションの勉強のためにニューヨークに行くつもりなんだそうです。
She's intent on going to New York to study fashion. She's intent on going to New York to study fashion.
私がやります。
I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it.
お茶でも飲みに来ませんか？
Won't you come in for a cup of tea? Won't you come in for a cup of tea?
ボブはギターだけでなくフルートも演奏します。
Bob plays not only the guitar but also the flute. Bob plays not only the guitar but also the flute.
この鍋の取っ手は持ちやすいです。
The handle of this pan is easy to hold. The handle of this pan is easy to hold.
去年の冬は雪が多かったです。
We had a good deal of snow last winter. We had a good deal of snow last winter.
トニーはいい声をしています。
Tony has a nice voice. Tony has a nice voice.
トムは父親と同じくらい背が高いです。
Tom is as tall as his father. Tom is as tall as his father.
あの橋はどれくらいの長さですか？
How long is that bridge? How long is that bridge?
良い映画は視野を広げてくれます。
Good movies broaden your horizons. Good movies broaden your horizons.
私はサッカーファンです。
I am a football fan. I am a football fan.
この大きな門は小さな庭には不釣り合いです。
This big gate is disproportionate to the small garden. This big gate is disproportionate to the small garden.
ありがとう。あなたはとても親切です。
Thanks, that's nice of you. Thanks, that's nice of you.
私はそれを信じることができません。
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
私たちはテレビの存在を当然のことと思っています。
We take it for granted that television exists. We take it for granted that television exists.
この本は非常に面白いです。
This book is very entertaining. This book is very entertaining.
フットボールとバスケでセンターをやっています。
I play center in football and basketball. I play center in football and basketball.
帰ったら電話をください。
Give me a telephone call when you get back. Give me a telephone call when you get back.
あなたは私の息子の宿題を手伝う必要はなかったのに。
You need not have helped my son with his homework. You need not have helped my son with his homework.
私は丘を登りました。
I walked up the hill. I walked up the hill.
本当に勉強になりました。
I really learned a lot. I really learned a lot.
会社は今、成長痛を抱えています。
The company has growing pains now. The company has growing pains now.
バスは何時に迎えに来ますか？
What time will the bus pick us up? What time will the bus pick us up?
私たちは言葉を使ってコミュニケーションをとります。
We communicate by means of language. We communicate by means of language.
そのベッドは場所を取ります。
The bed takes up a lot of room. The bed takes up a lot of room.
ホテルならすぐそこですよ。
If you want a hotel, look, it's just down there. If you want a hotel, look, it's just down there.
あなたの悩みを私に話してください。
Tell me about your trouble. Tell me about your trouble.
もう手を洗いましたか？
Have you washed your hands yet? Have you washed your hands yet?
食事はフィッシュ&チップスだけでした。
The food was strictly fish and chips. The food was strictly fish and chips.
お金が必要なんです。
I'm in need of money. I'm in need of money.
どうして信じてくれなかったのですか？
Why didn't you believe me? Why didn't you believe me?
今日の天気はどうですか？
What's the weather like today? What's the weather like today?
少年は偉大な政治家に成長しました。
The boy grew up to be a great statesman. The boy grew up to be a great statesman.
彼は背が高くてハンサムな青年です。
He is a tall and handsome young man. He is a tall and handsome young man.
その家はあまり良くないです。
The house is not in very good condition. The house is not in very good condition.
休みを利用して芝生を借りましょう。
Let's take advantage of the vacation to mow the lawn. Let's take advantage of the vacation to mow the lawn.
これは私たちが先週訪れた城です。
This is the castle which we visited last week. This is the castle which we visited last week.
雨が降っていたので、海辺にはほとんどいなかったです。
Few were at the seaside because it was raining. Few were at the seaside because it was raining.
この前ケントに会った時、彼はとても元気でした。
The last time I saw Kent, he was very well. The last time I saw Kent, he was very well.
こんなに嬉しかったことはありません。
I've never been this happy. I've never been this happy.
あなたはいつもすごく幸せそうに見えます。
You always seem so happy. You always seem so happy.
この遠征は高くつくでしょう。
This expedition will be expensive. This expedition will be expensive.
鷹は空を旋回しました。
The hawk circled round in the sky. The hawk circled round in the sky.
会議に出席できません。
I can't attend the meeting. I can't attend the meeting.
息子は机の上の書類をバラバラにしました。
My son disarranged the papers on the desk. My son disarranged the papers on the desk.
お知り合いになれてとても嬉しいです。
I'm very happy to know you. I'm very happy to know you.
物価は下がっているようです。
Prices seem to be going down. Prices seem to be going down.
トムは老人のような話し方をします。
Tom talks like an old man. Tom talks like an old man.
食事の時にタバコを吸うことはありますか？
Do you ever smoke at mealtimes? Do you ever smoke at mealtimes?
8時に起こしてください。
Wake me up at 8 o'clock. Wake me up at 8 o'clock.
車を貸してくれますか？
Could I borrow your car? Could I borrow your car?
私は音楽を聴くのが好きです。
I enjoy listening to music. I enjoy listening to music.
記者はその政治家を批判しました。
The reporter criticized the politician. The reporter criticized the politician.
私は何の意義もなさそうです。
I see no objection whatever. I see no objection whatever.
私はあなたの計画に同意します。
I agree to your plan. I agree to your plan.
その木は道路に影を投げかけました。
The tree cast a shadow across the road. The tree cast a shadow across the road.
電話が鳴ったら出てもらえますか？
If the telephone rings, can you answer it? If the telephone rings, can you answer it?
私たちは週に5回英語の授業があります。
We have 5 English classes a week. We have 5 English classes a week.
すべての学生がそのクラスに出席していたわけではなかったです。
Not all the students were present at the class. Not all the students were present at the class.
この工場は1日に200台の車を生産することができます。
This factory can turn out 200 cars a day. This factory can turn out 200 cars a day.
こんなに幸せなことはありませんでした。
I've never been so happy. I've never been so happy.
駅まで乗せて行ってくれませんか？
Can you give me a ride to the station? Can you give me a ride to the station?
何がきっかけで気持ちが変わったのでしょうか？
What was it that caused you to change your mind? What was it that caused you to change your mind?
彼の若さを考慮しなければなりません。
We must take his youth into account. We must take his youth into account.
今年はウルー年です。
This year is a leap year. This year is a leap year.
バスを待っている間に雨が止みました。
While I was waiting for our bus, the rain stopped. While I was waiting for our bus, the rain stopped.
講演は聴衆の心をつかみました。
The lecture gripped the audience. The lecture gripped the audience.
そうですね。個人的にはあまり好きではありません。
Well, personally, I don't really care for it. Well, personally, I don't really care for it.
ここに駐車してもいいですか？
Did you get permission to park here? Did you get permission to park here?
トムは通り越しに彼女に向かって呼びかけました。
Tom called to her across the street. Tom called to her across the street.
彼女は待ちに待ったけど、彼は戻りませんでした。
She waited and waited, but he never returned. She waited and waited, but he never returned.
一両日中にお返事します。
I'll give you an answer in a day or two. I'll give you an answer in a day or two.
消防士たちは車庫に入りました。
The firefighters arrived in the garage. The firefighters arrived in the garage.
いつ起きましたか？
When did you get up? When did you get up?
私たちはあらかじめすべての危険を排除しようとしました。
We tried to eliminate all danger beforehand. We tried to eliminate all danger beforehand.
マイクがバスを間違えたのは明らかです。
It is clear that Mike took the wrong bus. It is clear that Mike took the wrong bus.
一晩水に浸した服は重かったです。
The clothes soaked in water overnight were heavy. The clothes soaked in water overnight were heavy.
もう一人分の空きはありますか？
Is there any space for one more person? Is there any space for one more person?
この本はここで売られています。
This book is sold here. This book is sold here.
その事件は彼の興味を引きました。
That incident drew his interest. That incident drew his interest.
ネクタイは必要ですか？
Do I need a tie? Do I need a tie?
オーロラは本当に目を見張るものがありました。
The aurora was truly remarkable. The aurora was truly remarkable.
何がきっかけでこの町に来たのですか？
What has brought you to this city? What has brought you to this city?
テーブルの上に猫の足跡があります。
There are footprints of a cat on the table. There are footprints of a cat on the table.
アルパカは馬とラクダのように見えます。
An alpaca looks like a horse and a camel. An alpaca looks like a horse and a camel.
夜はとても寒かったです。
The night was so cold. The night was so cold.
こちらのアンケートにご記入の上送信してください。
Please fill out this questionnaire and send it to us. Please fill out this questionnaire and send it to us.
このデータを最終チェックしてもらえますか？
Could you give this data a final check for me? Could you give this data a final check for me?
母親は娘にそれを自分でするように言いました。
The mother told her daughter to do it herself. The mother told her daughter to do it herself.
それは立派な言い訳です。
That is a fine excuse. That is a fine excuse.
まだ起きるには早すぎます。
It's still too early to get up. It's still too early to get up.
秘密を守れますか？
Can you keep a secret? Can you keep a secret?
バス停へ行く道を教えてください。
Show me the way to the bus stop. Show me the way to the bus stop.
もう寝なくちゃ。
I have to go to sleep. I have to go to sleep.
教師は時折、生徒たちに息抜きをさせるべきです。
Teachers should occasionally let their students blow off some steam. Teachers should occasionally let their students blow off some steam.
ラッシュ時のバスはもっと多いはずです。
There ought to be more buses during the rush hours. There ought to be more buses during the rush hours.
ブライアンはシャツの代わりにジャケットを買いました。
Instead of a shirt, Brian brought a jacket. Instead of a shirt, Brian brought a jacket.
丘の上に多くの木がありますか？
Are there oak trees on the hill? Are there oak trees on the hill?
私はさよならを伝えるために電話をしています。
I'm calling to say goodbye. I'm calling to say goodbye.
それは確かです。
It is more than certain. It is more than certain.
レストランで歓迎会が開かれました。
A welcome party took place in the restaurant. A welcome party took place in the restaurant.
私のオーバーコートを探してください。
Please find me my overcoat. Please find me my overcoat.
私はその知らせを聞いてとても嬉しかったです。
I was very glad to hear the news. I was very glad to hear the news.
彼は私に顔を洗うように言いました。
He told me to wash my face. He told me to wash my face.
私はその計画について父に相談しました。
I consulted with my father about the plan. I consulted with my father about the plan.
マリーは私にドライブを楽しんだと言いました。
Marie told me that she enjoyed the drive. Marie told me that she enjoyed the drive.
アメリカの初代大統領にちなんで名付けられました。
It was named after the first American president. It was named after the first American president.
どうやって時間を潰しましょうか？
How can we kill time? How can we kill time?
どうしてここに来たのですか？
How and why did you come here? How and why did you come here?
その赤ん坊は立つことはできますが、歩くことはできません。
The baby can stand but can't walk. The baby can stand but can't walk.
ここにドイツの大きな地図があります。
Here's a big map of Germany. Here's a big map of Germany.
あなたの経験不足を補ってあげましょう。
I'll make allowances for your lack of experience. I'll make allowances for your lack of experience.
この規則は外国人にのみ適用されます。
This rule is applied to foreigners only. This rule is applied to foreigners only.
彼はあの男のために働くくらいなら死んだ方がマシです。
He would sooner rather die than work for that man. He would sooner rather die than work for that man.
この音楽は私にあの少女を思い出させます。
This music reminds me of that girl. This music reminds me of that girl.
あなたと私は同い年です。
You and I are the same age. You and I are the same age.
メンドリは巣の中の卵の上に座っていました。
The hen was sitting on the eggs in the nest. The hen was sitting on the eggs in the nest.
森には猿がいっぱいいます。
The forest is teeming with monkeys. The forest is teeming with monkeys.
スージーの髪はとても長いです。
Susie's hair is very long. Susie's hair is very long.
どこへ行ったらいいか教えてください。
Please tell me where to go. Please tell me where to go.
球場は野球ファンであふれていました。
The stadium was flooded with baseball fans. The stadium was flooded with baseball fans.
どの空港から出発しますか？
Which airport do I leave from? Which airport do I leave from?
トミーは最後の質問に答えられなかったです。
Tommy couldn't answer the last question. Tommy couldn't answer the last question.
夢があれば追いかけましょう。
If there's a dream, let's run after it. If there's a dream, let's run after it.
私たちは彼の借金の支払いを求めました。
We asked for the payment of his debt. We asked for the payment of his debt.
それはまさに私の考えです。
That's exactly my own idea. That's exactly my own idea.
私は教師になるつもりでした。
I intended to become a teacher. I intended to become a teacher.
パンは小麦粉から作られます。
Bread is made from flour. Bread is made from flour.
なぜこの本は若者に愛されているのですか？
Why is this book loved by young people? Why is this book loved by young people?
留学生たちは私たちに助けを求めました。
Foreign students demanded help from us. Foreign students demanded help from us.
アメリカの首都はどこですか？
What is the capital of the United States? What is the capital of the United States?
いいえ、まず9を回してください。
No, please dial 9 first. No, please dial 9 first.
その映画はお涙ちょうだいのありふれた話です。
The movie is a stereotyped sob story. The movie is a stereotyped sob story.
彼らは私の父と母です。
They are my father and mother. They are my father and mother.
そのお金は賢く使わなければなりません。
You have to use the money wisely. You have to use the money wisely.
私たちはあなたをとても誇りに思っています。
We are so proud of you. We are so proud of you.
教科書の50ページを開いてください。
Open your text to page 50. Open your text to page 50.
夕食はもう食べましたか？
Have you eaten your dinner already? Have you eaten your dinner already?
このラケットは私のものです。
This racket belongs to me. This racket belongs to me.
賛成ですか？反対ですか？
Is it yes or no? Is it yes or no?
この劇はどこで上演されているのでしょうか？
Where is this play being performed? Where is this play being performed?
母が病気なので今日は父が料理をします。
Because my mother is sick, my father will cook today. Because my mother is sick, my father will cook today.
私は別れを言いに来ました。
I've come to say goodbye. I've come to say goodbye.
何か甘いものが食べたい気分です。
I feel like eating something sweet. I feel like eating something sweet.
この仕事を進めてください。
Go ahead with this work. Go ahead with this work.
ジョークを聞きたい？
Want to hear a joke? Want to hear a joke?
それは私の人生で一番辛い経験かもしれません。
That might be the most painful experience in my life. That might be the most painful experience in my life.
むくみがあるかもしれませんが、気にしないでください。
You may have swelling, but don't worry about it. You may have swelling, but don't worry about it.
勘弁してください。
Give me a break, please. Give me a break, please.
以前はここに店がありました。
There used to be a store right here. There used to be a store right here.
彼女は私たちにその話をすることができます。
She can tell us the story. She can tell us the story.
慣れました。
I'm used to it. I'm used to it.
どちらかといえば、我が国の経済は上向きです。
If anything, the economy in our country is going up. If anything, the economy in our country is going up.
そのプロジェクトに時間をかけましょう。
Let's put in a lot of time on that project. Let's put in a lot of time on that project.
私は彼らに能力の差を見せつけました。
I showed them the difference of ability. I showed them the difference of ability.
どちらを選ぶにしても、 それが良いものであることを確認してください。
Whichever you choose, make sure it is a good one. Whichever you choose, make sure it is a good one.
彼はその件について嘘をつきました。
He lied about the matter. He lied about the matter.
もう我慢できません。
I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore.
この通りに車を駐車してはいけません。
You must not park the car in this street. You must not park the car in this street.
その政治家は結局失脚しました。
The politician lost his position in the end. The politician lost his position in the end.
この少年は仕事がないです。
This boy has no job. This boy has no job.
少々お待ちください。まだ決めていません。
Just a moment. I haven't made up my mind. Just a moment. I haven't made up my mind.
何を食べますか？
What will you be having? What will you be having?
駅近で生活するにはとても便利です。
It is a great convenience to live near a station. It is a great convenience to live near a station.
新しいホテルは宿泊客からの提案を募りました。
The new hotel invited suggestions from the guests. The new hotel invited suggestions from the guests.
ここから出ましょう。
Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
私の後ろに男と女が座っていました。
There was a man and a woman sitting behind me. There was a man and a woman sitting behind me.
一人でピアノを持ち上げることはできません。
You cannot lift that piano alone. You cannot lift that piano alone.
この船は大きすぎて運河を通れません。
This ship is too big to pass through the canal. This ship is too big to pass through the canal.
ナンシーが嘘をつくはずがないです。
Nancy cannot have told a lie. Nancy cannot have told a lie.
話してあげる。
Here's a joke for you. Here's a joke for you.
少し時間ありますか？
Do you have a minute? Do you have a minute?
ボブはすべての質問に答えることができます。
Bob can answer all the questions. Bob can answer all the questions.
販売キャンペーンが大成功しています。
Our sales campaign is successful in a big way. Our sales campaign is successful in a big way.
あなたのペンを使ってもいいですか？
Can I use your pen? Can I use your pen?
読書は電車の旅の時間を潰してくれます。
Reading kills time on a train trip. Reading kills time on a train trip.
もう両親から独立してもいい頃です。
It's about time you were independent of your parents. It's about time you were independent of your parents.
ご一緒にいかがですか？
Would you care to join me? Would you care to join me?
その建築家はその建物を設計しました。
The architect designed that building. The architect designed that building.
答えに自信がありますか？
Are you sure of your answer? Are you sure of your answer?
間違いがあったようです。
There appears to have been a mistake. There appears to have been a mistake.
必ず金曜日までに電話してくださいね。
Be sure to telephone by Friday, okay? Be sure to telephone by Friday, okay?
伝言はありますか？
Do I have any messages? Do I have any messages?
火は一人でに消えてしまいました。
The fire went out by itself. The fire went out by itself.
少年はナイフやフォークの扱いがとても上手です。
The boy can handle a knife and fork very well. The boy can handle a knife and fork very well.
すみませんが、今日は外出する気になれません。
I'm sorry, but I don't feel like going out today. I'm sorry, but I don't feel like going out today.
ペンを使ってもいいですか？
May I use your pen? May I use your pen?
その少年は叱られるのに慣れていました。
The boy was used to being scolded. The boy was used to being scolded.
目玉焼きを2つ作ってあげます。
I'll make you two fried egg. I'll make you two fried egg.
あちこち探しました。
I looked for it here and there. I looked for it here and there.
この石を持ち上げることができますか？
Can you lift this stone? Can you lift this stone?
どうやって彼と知り合いになったのですか？
How did you get to know him? How did you get to know him?
私はあなたを心配していました。
I was worried about you. I was worried about you.
私はあなたに賛成だとしか言えません。
I can only say that I agree with you. I can only say that I agree with you.
時間になったら忘れずに知らせてください。
Don't forget to let me know when it's time. Don't forget to let me know when it's time.
カナダでは英語が話されていますか？
Is English spoken in Canada? Is English spoken in Canada?
これが私たちが知りたいことです。
This is what we want to know. This is what we want to know.
その講義に来た人はほとんどいなかったです。
Few people came to the lecture. Few people came to the lecture.
買い戻すのに5ポンドもかかりました。
It cost him £5 to buy it back. It cost him £5 to buy it back.
私たちはその事件を全体として研究しなければなりません。
We must study the affair as a whole. We must study the affair as a whole.
私は1時間歩きました。
I walked for an hour. I walked for an hour.
一番好きな色を選んでください。
Choose the color you like the best. Choose the color you like the best.
外出してもいいですよ。
You are free to go out. You are free to go out.
急いでください。そうすればバスに間に合いますよ。
Hurry up, and you'll catch the bus. Hurry up, and you'll catch the bus.
オレンジジュースを一杯飲んだら気分が爽やかになりました。
A glass of orange juice refreshed me. A glass of orange juice refreshed me.
蚊に刺されました。
A mosquito just bit me. A mosquito just bit me.
それは何の意味もありません。
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
そうとも言えるでしょう。
I suppose you could say that. I suppose you could say that.
この帽子は私にはきつすぎます。
This hat is too tight for me. This hat is too tight for me.
2年前に亡くなったことを知らなかったのですか？
Didn't you know that he passed away 2 years ago? Didn't you know that he passed away 2 years ago?
このエッセイは大いに進歩しています。
This essay shows a great improvement. This essay shows a great improvement.
何事にも自分の思い通りにはならないでしょう。
You shall not have your own way in everything. You shall not have your own way in everything.
スタジアムはかなり静まり返っていました。
The stadium was quite still. The stadium was quite still.
今日は楽しいですか？
Did you have fun today? Did you have fun today?
その町には狭い路地が多いです。
The town has many narrow lanes. The town has many narrow lanes.
彼女は数学を勉強したいです。
She wants to study mathematics. She wants to study mathematics.
どうしてそう思うの？
What makes you think so? What makes you think so?
疲れすぎてもう歩けません。
I am too tired to walk anymore. I am too tired to walk anymore.
彼はそれに固執していました。
He was stiff about it. He was stiff about it.
エベレスト山は海抜29002フィートです。
Mount Everest is 29,002 feet above sea level. Mount Everest is 29,002 feet above sea level.
この小説は3部からなっています。
This novel consists of 3 parts. This novel consists of 3 parts.
この点については同意します。
We agree on this point. We agree on this point.
すぐに戻ります。
He'll be back in a minute. He'll be back in a minute.
成功するためには努力しなければなりません。
You must work hard if you are to succeed. You must work hard if you are to succeed.
天気が良ければピクニックに行きましょう。
Weather permitting, let's go on a picnic. Weather permitting, let's go on a picnic.
あなたが何と言おうと、彼は決心を変えないでしょう。
Whatever you say, he won't change his mind. Whatever you say, he won't change his mind.
そのカメラをどうしたのですか？
What did you do with that camera? What did you do with that camera?
その単語を自分で辞書で調べてください。
Look the word up for yourself in the dictionary. Look the word up for yourself in the dictionary.
本当にお世話になりました。
I really appreciate all the trouble you've gone to. I really appreciate all the trouble you've gone to.
私はあなたを非常に誇りに思います。
I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you.
これ以上は歩けません。
I can't walk any further. I can't walk any further.
誰もが彼が知事に選ばれればよかったと思いました。
Everybody wished he had been elected governor. Everybody wished he had been elected governor.
私はその川で泳ぐのは危険だと思います。
I think it's dangerous to swim in that river. I think it's dangerous to swim in that river.
どの靴があなたのですか？
Which pair of shoes is yours? Which pair of shoes is yours?
を預かっていただけますか？
Would you keep this baggage, please? Would you keep this baggage, please?
誰もが彼女が勝つことを望みました。
Everyone hoped that she would win. Everyone hoped that she would win.
この問題は本当に難しいです。
This problem is a real challenge. This problem is a real challenge.
出かけようとしたとき、電話が鳴りました。
I was about to go out when the phone rang. I was about to go out when the phone rang.
この歯には詰め物が必要です。
This tooth has to have a filling. This tooth has to have a filling.
否定できない事実です。
It's a fact you can't deny. It's a fact you can't deny.
どのようにやっても結果は同じです。
However you do it, the result will be the same. However you do it, the result will be the same.
その候補者は会う人には誰にでも手を振りました。
It waved his hand to whomever he saw. It waved his hand to whomever he saw.
私には時間がありません。
I don't have time. I don't have time.
ドアを開けていただけませんか？
Could you open the door for us? Could you open the door for us?
行く前にお腹に何か入れておいた方がいいですよ。
You should put something in your stomach before you go. You should put something in your stomach before you go.
前にその映画を見たことがあったので退屈していました。
I was bored because I had seen the movie before. I was bored because I had seen the movie before.
その会社には独自の病院が3つあります。
The company has 3 hospitals of its own. The company has 3 hospitals of its own.
誰かご用を伺っていますか？
Is anybody waiting on you? Is anybody waiting on you?
この曲は1970年代に流行した曲です。
This song was popular in the 1970s. This song was popular in the 1970s.
彼は私にとても意地悪です。
He is very mean to me. He is very mean to me.
その仕事を終えるのはあなたの責任です。
It is up to you to finish the task. It is up to you to finish the task.
その場所は少なくとも一度は訪れる価値があります。
The place is worth visiting at least once. The place is worth visiting at least once.
私には友達がたくさんいます。
I have lots of friends. I have lots of friends.
私は何時間も働いて疲れを感じました。
I felt tired from having worked for hours. I felt tired from having worked for hours.
一体どうしてそんな名前をつけたの？
Why on earth did you give him such a name? Why on earth did you give him such a name?
あなたはすぐに帰宅しなければなりません。
You must go home at once. You must go home at once.
彼は昨日の夕方8時過ぎまで仕事が終わりませんでした。
He didn't finish his work until after 8 yesterday evening. He didn't finish his work until after 8 yesterday evening.
この卵は嫌な匂いがします。
This egg has a bad smell. This egg has a bad smell.
しばらくするとつまらなくなります。
After a while. After a while.
あなたの妻はとてもチャーミングです。
Your wife is very charming. Your wife is very charming.
その問題は難しすぎて答えられなかったです。
The question was too difficult to answer. The question was too difficult to answer.
冷蔵庫が故障しています。
Our refrigerator is out of order. Our refrigerator is out of order.
彼らは偉大な芸術家や作曲家にならないかもしれない。
They might not become great artists or composers. They might not become great artists or composers.
ドアに全部鍵をかけた後、私は寝ました。
After I locked all the doors, I went to bed. After I locked all the doors, I went to bed.
これは私が今までに見た中で最悪の映画です。
This is the worst movie I have ever seen. This is the worst movie I have ever seen.
父親に逆らわないように。
Don't go against your father. Don't go against your father.
そのうちにやり方がわかるようになります。
You'll learn how to do it sooner or later. You'll learn how to do it sooner or later.
もっと勇気があれば、メアリーにプロポーズできたかもしれません。
With more courage, I might have proposed to Mary. With more courage, I might have proposed to Mary.
こちらのワンピースは3サイズ展開です。
This dress comes in 3 sizes. This dress comes in 3 sizes.
少年は人混みの中で母親の姿を見失いました。
The boy lost sight of his mother in the crowd. The boy lost sight of his mother in the crowd.
彼は何時間も働いてクタクタでした。
He was worn out after hours of work. He was worn out after hours of work.
もし飛ぶことができればいいのに。
If only I could fly. If only I could fly.
テクノロジーは私たちの文化を差別化してきました。
Technology has differentiated our cultures. Technology has differentiated our cultures.
一生懸命働く者は成功します。
Those who work hard will succeed. Those who work hard will succeed.
その噂は街中に広まりました。
The rumor spread all over town. The rumor spread all over town.
どんな子供でもそれはできます。
Any child can do that. Any child can do that.
ミシガンより優れた医学部を選ぶことはできません。
You couldn't pick a finer medical school than Michigan. You couldn't pick a finer medical school than Michigan.
行きたくなければ行く必要はありません。
You don't need to go unless you want to. You don't need to go unless you want to.
悪天候のため飛行機は3時間遅れて到着しました。
Due to bad weather, the plane arrived 3 hours late. Due to bad weather, the plane arrived 3 hours late.
空いている席はありますか？
Is there a vacant seat? Is there a vacant seat?
この写真をしばらくまっすぐにしておいてくれませんか？
Could you hold this picture straight for a while? Could you hold this picture straight for a while?
メアリーは社会性があります。
Mary has a social nature. Mary has a social nature.
帰ったら彼に会います。
I will see him after I get back. I will see him after I get back.
この本は読む価値がないです。
This book isn't worth reading. This book isn't worth reading.
ジャックはクラスで一番頭のいい子です。
Jack is the most intelligent boy in the class. Jack is the most intelligent boy in the class.
ジョンは真夜中前に寝たことがほとんどありません。
John has hardly ever gone to bed before midnight. John has hardly ever gone to bed before midnight.
計画が意味のあるものであることに全員が同意しました。
We all agreed that the plan made sense. We all agreed that the plan made sense.
この牛乳は独特の味がします。
This milk has a peculiar taste. This milk has a peculiar taste.
これは私が先週撮った写真です。
This is a picture I took last week. This is a picture I took last week.
この歌はいかがでしたか？
How did you like the song? How did you like the song?
あなたは自分で宿題をしましたか？
Did you do your homework by yourself? Did you do your homework by yourself?
見送ってくれて嬉しいです。
It's nice of you to see me off. It's nice of you to see me off.
スピーチの最後に彼女はその言葉を繰り返しました。
At the end of the speech, she repeated the word. At the end of the speech, she repeated the word.
この擦り切れたカーペットを処分しなくてはならないでしょう。
I will have to get rid of this worn-out carpet. I will have to get rid of this worn-out carpet.
そのコーヒーは私の口に合わなかったです。
The coffee was not much to my liking. The coffee was not much to my liking.
彼はそのことをすべて知っているように見えました。
He looked as if he knew all about it. He looked as if he knew all about it.
集まって話し合いましょう。
Let's get together and talk it over. Let's get together and talk it over.
ピザは私の大好物です。
Pizza is my favorite food. Pizza is my favorite food.
いい旅ができたでしょうね。
I hope you had a nice trip. I hope you had a nice trip.
ケイトは先生の講義がつまらなくて退屈で終わりがないと思っていました。
Kate thought the teacher's lecture was dull, boring, and endless. Kate thought the teacher's lecture was dull, boring, and endless.
オーストラリアは日本のおよそ20倍の大きさです。
Australia is about 20 times as large as Japan. Australia is about 20 times as large as Japan.
君が何と言おうと私は諦めません。
Whatever you may say, I won't give it up. Whatever you may say, I won't give it up.
早く走れば列車に間に合います。
If you run fast, you can catch the train. If you run fast, you can catch the train.
この新しいカーテンはラグとの相性が悪いです。
These new curtains don't go well with the rugs. These new curtains don't go well with the rugs.
その男は隣の部屋に入りました。
The man entered the next room. The man entered the next room.
ケンは自転車を白く塗りました。
Ken painted his bicycle white. Ken painted his bicycle white.
それは私が意味していることではありません。
That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean.
いつ発送してもらえますか？
I'd like to know when you can send it out. I'd like to know when you can send it out.
確かなことはわかりません。
I don't know for certain. I don't know for certain.
私と連絡を取り合ってください。
Keep in touch with me. Keep in touch with me.
その仕事を一日で終えるのは難しいです。
It is difficult to finish the work in a day. It is difficult to finish the work in a day.
ジェーンはこのテーマの権威のようなものです。
Jane is something of an authority on the subject. Jane is something of an authority on the subject.
それは奇跡に過ぎません。
It was nothing less than a miracle. It was nothing less than a miracle.
彼は気の利いたコメントをしました。
He made a witty comment. He made a witty comment.
これが私があなたに同意しない理由です。
This is the reason I disagree with you. This is the reason I disagree with you.
マリアの亡き夫はバイオリニストでした。
Maria's late husband was a violinist. Maria's late husband was a violinist.
ここが遺失物取扱所です。
This is the lost and found office. This is the lost and found office.
またお会いしましょう。
Nice to meet you again. Nice to meet you again.
この授業は明日休講です。
This lesson is canceled tomorrow. This lesson is canceled tomorrow.
まあ、自分の将来がはっきりしていなかったので。
Well, I wasn't clear about my future. Well, I wasn't clear about my future.
同級生全員が食堂の食事が好きなわけではありません。
Not all my classmates like the food in the cafeteria. Not all my classmates like the food in the cafeteria.
コンサートに参加した人たちは彼の演奏に驚いていました。
Those present at the concert were surprised by his performance. Those present at the concert were surprised by his performance.
私たちの計画では多くのお金が必要になります。
Our plan will call for a lot of money. Our plan will call for a lot of money.
雨にもかかわらず試合は中止になりませんでした。
In spite of the rain, the game was not cancelled. In spite of the rain, the game was not cancelled.
この素材は決して消耗することはありません。
This material never wears out. This material never wears out.
映画で泣くのはあなたらしくないです。
It's not like you to cry at movies. It's not like you to cry at movies.
植物は水不足で枯れてしまいました。
The plants died for lack of water. The plants died for lack of water.
この雨の中、わざわざお越しいただきありがとうございました。
Thank you for coming all the way in this rain. Thank you for coming all the way in this rain.
あの魚は集団で旅をするんですよね。
That fish travels in a group, don't they? That fish travels in a group, don't they?
ワイングラスには気をつけなければなりません。
You must be careful with the wine glass. You must be careful with the wine glass.
私の言っていることがわかりますか？
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
彼はそのおもちゃが気に入りました。
He was pleased with the toy. He was pleased with the toy.
たまたまですが、本を家に置いてきました。
As it happens, I have left the book at home. As it happens, I have left the book at home.
空港バスはどこから出ていますか？
Where do the airport buses leave from? Where do the airport buses leave from?
遠くから見ると島が雲のように見えました。
Viewed from a distance, the island looked like a cloud. Viewed from a distance, the island looked like a cloud.
私のノートを貸してあげましょう。
I'll lend you my notebook. I'll lend you my notebook.
雨になるのではないかと思います。
I'm afraid it will be rainy. I'm afraid it will be rainy.
あの女の子は誰かしら？
I wonder who that girl is. I wonder who that girl is.
彼は賢い男の子です。
He is a smart boy. He is a smart boy.
リンカーンはアメリカ史の中の最も偉大な人物の一人です。
Lincoln is one of the greatest figures in American history. Lincoln is one of the greatest figures in American history.
ゆりかごで寝ているかわいい赤ちゃんを見てください。
Look at the cute little baby sleeping in the cradle. Look at the cute little baby sleeping in the cradle.
そこへ行くのに2時間かかるでしょう。
It'll take 2 hours to go there. It'll take 2 hours to go there.
家にいるよりは出かけた方がいいです。
I may as well go out than stay at home. I may as well go out than stay at home.
新しい帽子がとても似合っていますね。
Your new hat is very becoming on you. Your new hat is very becoming on you.
作家さんが来月新刊を出します。
The writer is bringing out a new book next month. The writer is bringing out a new book next month.
羊は私たちに羊毛を提供してくれます。
Sheep provide us with wool. Sheep provide us with wool.
銀行の残高は200万ドルになっています。
The balance at the bank stands at $2 million. The balance at the bank stands at $2 million.
すぐに対処しなければなりません。
We need to take care of this immediately. We need to take care of this immediately.
トムは時々客をぼったくります。
Tom sometimes rips off his customers. Tom sometimes rips off his customers.
辞書でその単語を調べてください。
Look up the words in your dictionary. Look up the words in your dictionary.
旅行会社に勤めています。
I work for a travel agency. I work for a travel agency.
彼は明日来られますか？
Will he be able to come tomorrow? Will he be able to come tomorrow?
私のコンピューターは何かの役に立つに違いありません。
My computer has got to be useful for something. My computer has got to be useful for something.
このデータは仮説を裏付けるものです。
This data supports the hypothesis. This data supports the hypothesis.
ありがとうございます。OK です。
Oh, thank you very much. Okay. Oh, thank you very much. Okay.
我々のチームは強力なライバルと競争しました。
Our team competed with a powerful rival. Our team competed with a powerful rival.
なぜそう思うようになったのですか？
What made you think so? What made you think so?
自分で使うものです。
It's for my personal use. It's for my personal use.
いつそこへ行きましたか？
When did you go there? When did you go there?
メアリーは何よりもスキーが好きです。
Mary likes skiing best of all. Mary likes skiing best of all.
その時あなたは何をしていましたか？
What were you doing then? What were you doing then?
会社での出世を目指してみてください。
Try to get ahead in your company. Try to get ahead in your company.
自分の人生を振り返ったとき、彼女は深く後悔しました。
She regretted deeply when she looked back on her life. She regretted deeply when she looked back on her life.
夏休みにハワイに行ってきました。
I visited Hawaii during summer vacation. I visited Hawaii during summer vacation.
このエレベーターで10階まで上がります。
This elevator will take you up to the 10th floor. This elevator will take you up to the 10th floor.
車がなければタクシーで来てくれます。
If they don't have a car, they'll come by taxi. If they don't have a car, they'll come by taxi.
いつ現れたのですか？
When was this car washed? When was this car washed?
話を聞かせてくれませんか？
Could you tell us a story? Could you tell us a story?
図書館にはたくさんの学生がいます。
There are a lot of students in the library. There are a lot of students in the library.
そのコテージは清潔で整頓されていました。
The cottage was clean and tidy. The cottage was clean and tidy.
自分の答えが正しいか間違っているかは関係ありません。
It doesn't matter whether your answer is right or wrong. It doesn't matter whether your answer is right or wrong.
あなたは何のために英語を学びますか？
What do you learn English for? What do you learn English for?
お兄さんとお姉さんはどこにいますか？
Where are your brother and sister? Where are your brother and sister?
このお金は私のために取っておいてください。
Please keep this money for me. Please keep this money for me.
危ない。道路に穴が開いています。
Look out! There's a hole in the road. Look out! There's a hole in the road.
お手紙の謝辞をいただきました。
We received an acknowledgement of our letter. We received an acknowledgement of our letter.
彼女は英語を書くとき、めったに間違いをしません。
When writing English, she rarely makes a mistake. When writing English, she rarely makes a mistake.
コーヒーは食後にお願いします。
I'd like my coffee after the meal. I'd like my coffee after the meal.
教室には子供がほとんどいなかったです。
There were few children in the classroom. There were few children in the classroom.
私は自分のミスを後悔しています。
I feel terrible about my mistake. I feel terrible about my mistake.
教授のつまらない講義で眠ってしまいました。
The professor's boring lecture put me to sleep. The professor's boring lecture put me to sleep.
この機械はどうやって動くのですか？
Can you explain how this machine works? Can you explain how this machine works?
簡単なことを期待すべきではありません。
You shouldn't expect things to be easy. You shouldn't expect things to be easy.
何がうまくいかなかったのか正確に突き止める必要があります。
I need to find out exactly what went wrong. I need to find out exactly what went wrong.
教育は人生の中で最も重要なものの一つです。
Education is one of the most essential aspects of life. Education is one of the most essential aspects of life.
先に電話で予約しておくべきでした。
We ought to have phoned ahead and reserved a table. We ought to have phoned ahead and reserved a table.
あなたは最近どうでしたか？
How have you been recently? How have you been recently?
ポップコーンを食べれば食べるほど欲しくなります。
The more popcorn you eat, the more you want. The more popcorn you eat, the more you want.
その事故は今日の新聞に載っています。
The accident is reported in today's paper. The accident is reported in today's paper.
なんて高い山なんでしょう。
How high mountain that is. How high mountain that is.
早く良くなるといいですね。
I do hope you get well soon. I do hope you get well soon.
この新しい靴は履き心地が悪いです。
I am uncomfortable in these new shoes. I am uncomfortable in these new shoes.
その質問は彼女には簡単すぎて答えられない。
The question is too easy for her to answer. The question is too easy for her to answer.
私の手紙のコピーを送ります。
I am sending a copy of my letter to you. I am sending a copy of my letter to you.
小屋は丸太で建てられていました。
The cabin was built of logs. The cabin was built of logs.
お招きいただきありがとうございます。
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for inviting me.
あなたに賛成のメンバーはいますか？
Do any of the members agree with you? Do any of the members agree with you?
あの役人たちは金融のことを全く理解していません。
Those officials don't understand finance at all. Those officials don't understand finance at all.
あなたもね。
The same to you. The same to you.
コンサートのチケットはどうやって手に入れたのですか？
How did you get tickets for the concert? How did you get tickets for the concert?
テーブルの上にコップがあります。
There is a glass on the table. There is a glass on the table.
外では冷たい北風が轟いていました。
The cold north wind was roaring outside. The cold north wind was roaring outside.
私はその理論を全く理解していません。
I don't understand the theory at all. I don't understand the theory at all.
マスコミは彼の私生活に興味を持っています。
The press is interested in his private life. The press is interested in his private life.
ケンは早起きすることをルールにしています。
Ken makes it a rule to get up early. Ken makes it a rule to get up early.
あなたは自分の能力を最大限に活用すべきです。
You should make the most of your ability. You should make the most of your ability.
彼女は私の親友です。
She is my best friend. She is my best friend.
一緒に踊らせてください。
Let me dance with you. Let me dance with you.
その頃、世界中が飢えていました。
At that time, the whole world was hungry. At that time, the whole world was hungry.
これだけのお金を使うのは言語道断です。
It is outrageous that you should spend so much money. It is outrageous that you should spend so much money.
慣れてきた今の方が好きです。
I like it better now that I'm used to it. I like it better now that I'm used to it.
勇敢な消防士が燃える家から少年を救出しました。
The brave fireman rescued a boy from the burning house. The brave fireman rescued a boy from the burning house.
この子は今歯が生えかけています。
This child is teething now. This child is teething now.
この箱はかさばりすぎて持ち運べません。
This box is too bulky to carry. This box is too bulky to carry.
あなたはその会合に出席する資格がないです。
You are not entitled to attend the meeting. You are not entitled to attend the meeting.
道を間違えていますよ。
You're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way.
ゆっくり休んだ方がいいですよ。
You just need a good rest. You just need a good rest.
そのチームの監督は突然辞めました。
The manager of the team quit suddenly. The manager of the team quit suddenly.
それについて本当に不思議です。
I really wonder about that. I really wonder about that.
この家は私のものです。
This house is my own. This house is my own.
この地図のどこにいるのか教えてくれますか？
Can you tell me where I am on this map? Can you tell me where I am on this map?
あのベンチに座りましょう。
Let's sit down on that bench. Let's sit down on that bench.
そこから家の屋根を見ることができます。
You can see the roof of the house from there. You can see the roof of the house from there.
私たちはこのプロジェクトがすぐに実行されることを要求します。
We insist that this project be carried out immediately. We insist that this project be carried out immediately.
そろそろ行かないと。
It's time to go. It's time to go.
このすべてが多くの観察者たちに見えます。
All this is visible to numerous observers. All this is visible to numerous observers.
酔っ払ってるなら車のハンドルを握らないでください。
If you're drunk, don't take the wheel of a car. If you're drunk, don't take the wheel of a car.
ティムにはユーモアのセンスがないのが残念です。
It's a pity that Tim has no sense of humor. It's a pity that Tim has no sense of humor.
ペットを甘やかしてはいけないんです。
We are not supposed to indulge pets. We are not supposed to indulge pets.
彼は君と同じくらいの背の高さです。
He's as tall as you. He's as tall as you.
その地域ではめったに雨が降りません。
It hardly ever rains in the area. It hardly ever rains in the area.
来てくれて嬉しいです。
I'm so glad you came. I'm so glad you came.
ここでバスを降りましょう。
Let's get off the bus here. Let's get off the bus here.
あなたは機嫌が悪いです。
You're in a bad mood. You're in a bad mood.
あんな綺麗なドレスがあったらな。
If only I had a pretty dress like that. If only I had a pretty dress like that.
彼は突然財布がなくなっているのに気づきました。
He suddenly noticed his wallet was missing. He suddenly noticed his wallet was missing.
この部屋は貸し間です。
This room is for rent. This room is for rent.
誰もが彼女に親切です。
Everyone is friendly to her. Everyone is friendly to her.
お腹に痛みはありませんか？
Do you feel any pain in your stomach? Do you feel any pain in your stomach?
これは彼の家で撮った写真です。
This is the picture I took in his house. This is the picture I took in his house.
リンゴとバナナのどちらが好きですか？
Which do you prefer, apples or bananas? Which do you prefer, apples or bananas?
私は彼に何度か会いました。
I saw him at one time or another. I saw him at one time or another.
これは私がなくしたのと同じ時計です。
This is the same watch that I've lost. This is the same watch that I've lost.
私はあまり考えすぎるべきではなかった。
I shouldn't think too much. I shouldn't think too much.
看護師さんに勧められて歩いてみることにしました。
The nurse recommended that he try walking. The nurse recommended that he try walking.
それはとてもデリケートな問題です。
It's a very delicate question. It's a very delicate question.
これ以上あなたに同意できません。
I couldn't agree with you anymore. I couldn't agree with you anymore.
ビルだけでなく、スティーブもパソコンに夢中です。
Not only Bill, but also Steve is crazy about computers. Not only Bill, but also Steve is crazy about computers.
その建物は街全体を見下ろしています。
The building looks down on the whole town. The building looks down on the whole town.
私たちの観点は同じです。
We share the same point. We share the same point.
それは偶然の出会いでした。
It was a casual meeting. It was a casual meeting.
焦ってやると失敗します。
You make mistakes if you do things in a hurry. You make mistakes if you do things in a hurry.
この町に来て10年が経ちました。
It's been 10 years since I came to this town. It's been 10 years since I came to this town.
私は本当にあなたの提案が必要です。
I really need your suggestion. I really need your suggestion.
温かいスープが食べたいです。
I want to eat warm soup. I want to eat warm soup.
私はお金を貯めようとしています。
I'm trying to save money. I'm trying to save money.
シンプルな英語で書かれており、読みやすい本です。
Written in simple English, this book is easy to read. Written in simple English, this book is easy to read.
そのことについては何も言いませんでした。
I said nothing about the matter. I said nothing about the matter.
いい考えが浮かびました。
I hit upon a good idea. I hit upon a good idea.
言わずに置いておいた方が賢明だったでしょう。
It would have been wiser to leave it unsaid. It would have been wiser to leave it unsaid.
何と言ってよいかわからなかったので、彼女は黙っていました。
Not knowing what to say, she remained silent. Not knowing what to say, she remained silent.
お力になっていただけるととても嬉しいです。
If you will help us, we will be very glad. If you will help us, we will be very glad.
あのビルの上からの眺めは素晴らしかったです。
The view from the top of that building was magnificent. The view from the top of that building was magnificent.
何時に閉店するか知っていますか？
Do you know what time the shop is closed? Do you know what time the shop is closed?
静かにしてもらえますか？
Can you keep the noise down? Can you keep the noise down?
外出するよりむしろ家にいたいです。
I would rather stay at home than go out. I would rather stay at home than go out.
最近、肉はとても高いです。
Meat is very expensive nowadays. Meat is very expensive nowadays.
彼は通りの端に車を駐車しました。
The end of the street. The end of the street.
ダウは35ポイント急落してそこを打ちました。
35 points and then bottomed out. 35 points and then bottomed out.
その古い家は崖の上に立っています。
The old house stands on a cliff. The old house stands on a cliff.
どこかにホッチキスが見えませんか？
Can't you see a stapler somewhere around there? Can't you see a stapler somewhere around there?
このコンピューターはよく故障します。
This computer often goes out of order. This computer often goes out of order.
私は古き良き時代の話をするのが好きです。
I'd like to talk about the good old days. I'd like to talk about the good old days.
この犬は山の中で人を救うために訓練されています。
This dog is trained to save people in the mountains. This dog is trained to save people in the mountains.
ガソリンはリットル単位で売られます。
Gasoline is sold by the liter. Gasoline is sold by the liter.
このバスはヒルトンホテルに行きますか？
Does this bus go to the Hilton Hotel? Does this bus go to the Hilton Hotel?
花瓶を割ってしまったことをお詫びしなければなりません。
I must apologize to you for breaking the vase. I must apologize to you for breaking the vase.
ラスベガスで週末を過ごしませんか？
Would you like a weekend in Las Vegas? Would you like a weekend in Las Vegas?
その計画に変わるものはありますか？
Do you have any alternatives to the plan? Do you have any alternatives to the plan?
一日で終わらせるのは不可能に近いです。
It's next to impossible to finish it in a day. It's next to impossible to finish it in a day.
その法律によって私たちは年金を受け取ることができます。
The law enables us to receive an annuity. The law enables us to receive an annuity.
キャスリーンの陳述は本当であることが分かりました。
Kathleen's statements turned out to be true. Kathleen's statements turned out to be true.
こちらは上に12本のキャンドルを乗せたバースデーケーキです。
This is a birthday cake with 12 candles on top. This is a birthday cake with 12 candles on top.
私は何かが背中を張っているのを感じました。
I felt something crawling on my back. I felt something crawling on my back.
どんなことがあっても私は自分の義務を果たします。
No matter what may come, I will do my duty. No matter what may come, I will do my duty.
クジラは昔、陸に住んでいたと言われています。
Whales are said to have lived on land long ago. Whales are said to have lived on land long ago.
囚人は昨日釈放されました。
The prisoner was set at liberty yesterday. The prisoner was set at liberty yesterday.
おばさんは私に美味しいコーヒーの入れ方を教えてくれました。
My aunt showed me how to make good coffee. My aunt showed me how to make good coffee.
仕事が終わりました。外に出ましょう。
I'm through with my work. Let's go out. I'm through with my work. Let's go out.
ケリーの最新刊は先週出ました。
Kelly's latest book appeared last week. Kelly's latest book appeared last week.
おじは私にプレゼントをくれました。
My uncle gave me a present. My uncle gave me a present.
また、その他の製品を製造されている場合は、情報をお送りください。
Also, if you manufacture any other products, please send information. Also, if you manufacture any other products, please send information.
あなたたち2人は素敵なカップルです。
You two make a lovely couple. You two make a lovely couple.
このレポートをイタリア語にしてくれませんか？
Could you put this report into Italian for me? Could you put this report into Italian for me?
彼女が彼と踊っているのをいつ見ましたか？
When did you see her dancing with him? When did you see her dancing with him?
ご家族はお元気ですか？
How is everything at home? How is everything at home?
選手は見事にカムバックを果たしました。
The player made a splendid comeback. The player made a splendid comeback.
試してみて。
Have a go at it. Have a go at it.
だんだん分かってきました。
I am beginning to understand. I am beginning to understand.
多分私たちはまたいつか一緒になるでしょう。
Maybe we can get together sometime. Maybe we can get together sometime.
ジュリアの母語はイタリア語です。
Julia's native language is Italian. Julia's native language is Italian.
こぼれた牛乳で泣いても仕方ありません。
There's no use crying over spilt milk. There's no use crying over spilt milk.
猫は柵の隙間から入っていきました。
The cat went through a gap in the fence. The cat went through a gap in the fence.
あなたが話していた女性は私の妹です。
The woman to whom you were talking is my sister. The woman to whom you were talking is my sister.
あの先生は3年生のクラスを担当しています。
That teacher is in charge of the third year class. That teacher is in charge of the third year class.
その戦闘で多くの兵士が負傷しました。
Many soldiers were wounded in the battle. Many soldiers were wounded in the battle.
マイクは今日お母さんの車を洗わなくてもいいです。
Mike doesn't have to wash his mother's car today. Mike doesn't have to wash his mother's car today.
ケンは昨日家にいましたか？
Was Ken at home yesterday? Was Ken at home yesterday?
少年も少女のどちらも利口です。
Both the boy and the girl are clever. Both the boy and the girl are clever.
彼らは難なく任務を果たしました。
They accomplished their task without any difficulty. They accomplished their task without any difficulty.
あなたの助言が私を成功に導きました。
Your advice led me to success. Your advice led me to success.
火曜日も同じシフトです。
The same shift on Tuesday. The same shift on Tuesday.
私たち全員が英語を話せるわけではないです。
Not all of us can speak English. Not all of us can speak English.
その町には病院が一つしかないです。
There is only one hospital in the town. There is only one hospital in the town.
サリーは先月からダイエットをしています。
Sally has been on a diet since last month. Sally has been on a diet since last month.
あちこちに穴が開いていました。
Holes here and there. Holes here and there.
あなたにはできないと思います。
I guess that you can't do it. I guess that you can't do it.
法律はいつ施行されるのですか？
When will the law go into force? When will the law go into force?
同感です。
I feel the same way. I feel the same way.
確かにこの車は小さいけど力強いです。
Indeed, this car is small, but it is powerful. Indeed, this car is small, but it is powerful.
ジャックは私にとても親切です。
Jack is very friendly to me. Jack is very friendly to me.
私たちはいろいろな方法でコミュニケーションができます。
We can communicate with each other in many ways. We can communicate with each other in many ways.
とにかく私たちは最善を尽くしました。
At all events, we have done our best. At all events, we have done our best.
その湖はロシアで最も深いです。
The lake is the deepest in Russia. The lake is the deepest in Russia.
早くしないと遅刻しますよ。
Come on, we'll be late if you don't hurry up. Come on, we'll be late if you don't hurry up.
とりあえず解決できるように頑張ります。
I will try to solve the problem at any rate. I will try to solve the problem at any rate.
もう一度あなたに会えてとても嬉しいです。
How wonderful to meet you again. How wonderful to meet you again.
この小説の方が圧倒的に面白いです。
This novel is by far more interesting than that one. This novel is by far more interesting than that one.
急がなくてもいいですよ。
You don't have to hurry. You don't have to hurry.
棚の上に置いてください。
Put it on the shelf. Put it on the shelf.
雨の後、太陽が雲から現れました。
After the rain, the sun emerged from the clouds. After the rain, the sun emerged from the clouds.
コーヒーはあまり好きではありません。
I don't care much for coffee. I don't care much for coffee.
そのトランクは重すぎて彼は管理できなかったです。
The trunk was too heavy for him to manage. The trunk was too heavy for him to manage.
彼の住所はジョン以外誰も知りません。
No one knows his address but John. No one knows his address but John.
スピーカーは拳でテーブルを叩きました。
The speaker banged the table with his fist. The speaker banged the table with his fist.
私を助けてくれますか？
Could you help me out? Could you help me out?
父が来てドアを開けました。
My father came and opened the door. My father came and opened the door.
その日の夜はロブスターで宴会をしました。
We banqueted on lobster last night. We banqueted on lobster last night.
家族全員が車から降りました。
All the family got out of the car. All the family got out of the car.
私はやりたくない。
I don't think I will. I don't think I will.
ピザを自由に召し上がってください。
Please help yourself to the pizza. Please help yourself to the pizza.
もういただけますか？
Will you give me something to drink? Will you give me something to drink?
猫は机の上にいます。
The cat is on top of the desk. The cat is on top of the desk.
テレビの音を少し下げてくれませんか？
Would you please turn down the TV a little? Would you please turn down the TV a little?
喜んでお手伝いします。
I will be glad to help you. I will be glad to help you.
彼はその理由で会合に出席しませんでした。
He did not attend the meeting for that reason. He did not attend the meeting for that reason.
私は一人で待っていました。
I was waiting all alone. I was waiting all alone.
連絡の取れる番号はありますか？
Do you have a number where we can contact you? Do you have a number where we can contact you?
本当にこの電車でいいのですか？
Are you sure this is the right train? Are you sure this is the right train?
彼女はいわゆる教養のある女性です。
She is what is called a woman of culture. She is what is called a woman of culture.
彼はアメリカ経由でヨーロッパへ行きました。
He went to Europe by way of America. He went to Europe by way of America.
すみませんが、おっしゃったことが聞き取れませんでした。
I'm sorry, but I didn't catch what you said. I'm sorry, but I didn't catch what you said.
箱の中には何もありませんでした。
There was nothing in the box. There was nothing in the box.
できるだけ早く仕上げます。
I'll finish it as quickly as I can. I'll finish it as quickly as I can.
彼はそれについて大変熱心です。
He's very enthusiastic about it. He's very enthusiastic about it.
私はそれについて話していません。
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that.
自分の考えを現実と一致させるべきです。
You should make your ideas correspond with reality. You should make your ideas correspond with reality.
遠くのものが望遠鏡で見えます。
We can see distant objects with a telescope. We can see distant objects with a telescope.
今記入すればいいですか？
Should I fill it in now? Should I fill it in now?
ジェーンはピーターに愛されています。
Jane is loved by Peter. Jane is loved by Peter.
これはそれよりも小さいです。
This is smaller than that. This is smaller than that.
ニュース記事を書くのが彼の仕事です。
Writing news stories is his job. Writing news stories is his job.
悪天候のため、私たちは出発できませんでした。
The bad weather prevented us from leaving. The bad weather prevented us from leaving.
工場ではすべての設備が最新のものになっていました。
In the factory, all the equipment was up to date. In the factory, all the equipment was up to date.
机の中には見当たりません。
I can't find it in my desk. I can't find it in my desk.
この登録カードを記入してください。
Fill out this registration card, please. Fill out this registration card, please.
私は今すぐ出なければなりません。
I must be leaving now. I must be leaving now.
それは朝飯前です。
It's a piece of cake. It's a piece of cake.
少しでもお役に立てれば幸いです。
I hope I can be of some help to you. I hope I can be of some help to you.
寒気がしたので暖房を入れました。
Feeling chilly, I turned on the heater. Feeling chilly, I turned on the heater.
別のウェイターは私が間違って開けた瓶を隠しました。
The other waiter hid the bottle I'd opened wrongly. The other waiter hid the bottle I'd opened wrongly.
まず、両方の意見を聞くべきですね。
First, I should hear both sides. First, I should hear both sides.
私はあなたの提案に同意できません。
I cannot agree to your proposal. I cannot agree to your proposal.
一体どうやってそんなことをしたのですか？
How in the world did you do such a thing? How in the world did you do such a thing?
すぐに手紙を書きます。
I will write to you soon. I will write to you soon.
渡は研究に没頭していたようです。
It seems that Wataru devoted himself to his students. It seems that Wataru devoted himself to his students.
どうやってメアリーと知り合いになったのですか？
How did you get to know Mary? How did you get to know Mary?
近い将来、火星に行けるでしょうか？
Can we get to Mars in the near future? Can we get to Mars in the near future?
私たちは酸素が不足するとあくびをします。
We yawn when we are short of oxygen. We yawn when we are short of oxygen.
このインクの汚れは落ちないと思います。
I don't think these ink stains will come off. I don't think these ink stains will come off.
それを修理してもらうのに苦労しました。
I had difficulty in having it repaired. I had difficulty in having it repaired.
もうパスポートを申請しましたか？
Have you applied for a passport yet? Have you applied for a passport yet?
チーズとアップルパイを食べたことがありますか？
Have you ever had cheese with apple pie? Have you ever had cheese with apple pie?
その男性は一杯飲みたかったです。
The man wanted to have a drink. The man wanted to have a drink.
私たちは楽しい時間を過ごしました。
We had a good time. We had a good time.
心配しないでください。結局は私たちが答えを見つけるから。
Don't worry, we'll find the answer after all. Don't worry, we'll find the answer after all.
その家族はみんな自分の車を持っています。
Everybody in that family has a car of their own. Everybody in that family has a car of their own.
伝言をいただきましょうか？
May I take your message? May I take your message?
それは刺激的な議論でした。
It was a stimulating discussion. It was a stimulating discussion.
エンリケは数学の問題を解くことに夢中です。
Enrique is engrossed in solving mathematical problems. Enrique is engrossed in solving mathematical problems.
どこで会ったと思いますか？
Where do you think I met her? Where do you think I met her?
私がこんな風に感じるのはおかしいかな？
Do you find it funny that I feel this way? Do you find it funny that I feel this way?
彼は立ち上がろうとしました。
He tried to stand up. He tried to stand up.
そのお店では青果を扱っています。
They deal in fruit and vegetables at that store. They deal in fruit and vegetables at that store.
会合は5時まで続きました。
The meeting lasted until 5. The meeting lasted until 5.
ダンス部に入りませんか？
How would you like to join the dance club? How would you like to join the dance club?
気温が数度下がりました。
The temperature fell several degrees. The temperature fell several degrees.
その質問から始めましょう。
Let's begin with that question. Let's begin with that question.
あなたの健康が羨ましいです。
I envy your good health. I envy your good health.
それは保留にしておきましょう。
Let's put that on hold. Let's put that on hold.
これは本物のダイヤかもしれません。
This can be a real diamond. This can be a real diamond.
そのスキャンダルは会社の評判を傷つけました。
The scandal hurt the company's reputation. The scandal hurt the company's reputation.
一人で行きたくありません。
I don't want to go alone. I don't want to go alone.
さあ、仕事にかかりましょう。
Now let's get down to work. Now let's get down to work.
デッキはかなり寒いです。
It's rather cold out here on the deck. It's rather cold out here on the deck.
疲れただけだと思います。
I think I'm just tired. I think I'm just tired.
私たちの英語の先生は教室では英語しか使いません。
Our English teacher only uses English in our classroom. Our English teacher only uses English in our classroom.
この中に徒歩圏内のものはありますか？
Are any of these within walking distance? Are any of these within walking distance?
どんなに大雪が降っても出発しなければなりません。
I must start no matter how heavily it snows. I must start no matter how heavily it snows.
ボブが来たら会議を始めましょう。
We will begin the meeting when Bob comes. We will begin the meeting when Bob comes.
この4年間お会いしていませんでした。
We haven't seen you in the past 4 years. We haven't seen you in the past 4 years.
鉛筆をなくしました。
I have lost my pencil. I have lost my pencil.
彼は穏やかで温厚なお年寄りでした。
He was a gentle and mild-mannered old fellow. He was a gentle and mild-mannered old fellow.
スキーに行きたいのですが、
I'd like to go skiing. I'd like to go skiing.
困っていてもサムはいつも楽観的です。
Even if he is in trouble, Sam is always optimistic. Even if he is in trouble, Sam is always optimistic.
コツをつかみましたか？
Got the hang of it? Got the hang of it?
老人が時間を聞いてきました。
The old man asked me the time. The old man asked me the time.
簡単なことではありません。
It's not at all easy. It's not at all easy.
コロンブスは自分がインドに着いたと思いました。
Columbus thought he had arrived in India. Columbus thought he had arrived in India.
スミス先生は患者が多いです。
Dr. Smith has a lot of patience. Dr. Smith has a lot of patience.
私たちの学校の制服とは違います。
Are different from those of our school. Are different from those of our school.
彼女は楽しい人生を送ります。
She leads a happy life. She leads a happy life.
雲が開き、太陽が差し込んできました。
The clouds opened and the sun shone through. The clouds opened and the sun shone through.
そんなことをするなんて、私はなんと愚かなのでしょう。
How stupid of me to do so. How stupid of me to do so.
この英語の問題は、決して優しいものではないです。
This question in English is anything but easy. This question in English is anything but easy.
ビルは特別賞に選ばれました。
Bill was singled out for a special award. Bill was singled out for a special award.
彼は子供に過ぎません。
He is just a child. He is just a child.
どうして前もって言ってくれなかったのですか？
Why didn't you tell it to me in advance? Why didn't you tell it to me in advance?
その工場はバイクを月に800台生産します。
The factory turns out 800 motorcycles a month. The factory turns out 800 motorcycles a month.
花は水なしで枯れかけていました。
The flowers were dying without water. The flowers were dying without water.
この本をいただけますか？
May I have this book? May I have this book?
この本は難しすぎて私には理解できません。
This book is too difficult for me to understand. This book is too difficult for me to understand.
これは簡単にできます。
You can do this with ease. You can do this with ease.
はるばる来てくれてありがとうございます。
I appreciate your coming all the way. I appreciate your coming all the way.
この単語はどういう意味ですか？
Can you tell me what this word means? Can you tell me what this word means?
雨に降られて濡れました。
I was caught in the rain and got wet. I was caught in the rain and got wet.
お父さんとお母さんは市場に行きました。
Dad and Mom went to the market. Dad and Mom went to the market.
空港でお会いすることができました。
I could have met you at the airport. I could have met you at the airport.
その後、彼は家に帰りました。
After that, he went home. After that, he went home.
遠くに山が見えました。
We saw a mountain in the distance. We saw a mountain in the distance.
急行料金はいくらですか？
How much is the express? How much is the express?
観光案内所はどこですか？
Where is the tourist information office? Where is the tourist information office?
この大きな国で何が起きているか見てみましょう。
Let's see what's happening in this big country. Let's see what's happening in this big country.
この件についてどう思いますか？
What's your opinion with regard to this matter? What's your opinion with regard to this matter?
コロンブスは地球が丸いと信じていました。
Columbus believed that the earth was round. Columbus believed that the earth was round.
ここは彼女が秘書として働いている場所です。
This is the place where she works as a secretary. This is the place where she works as a secretary.
ここでは雪は降りません。
We do not have snow here. We do not have snow here.
ここは空気が悪いです。窓を開けてくれませんか？
The air is bad here. Will you open the window? The air is bad here. Will you open the window?
モールに行くバスはありますか？
Is there a bus that goes to the mall? Is there a bus that goes to the mall?
もうすぐお正月ですね。
Soon the new year comes around. Soon the new year comes around.
エンジニアは高度なシステムの操作方法を実演しました。
The engineer demonstrated how to operate the sophisticated system. The engineer demonstrated how to operate the sophisticated system.
ジムは十分な努力をしていなかったので試験に落ちてしまいました。
Jim didn't work hard enough, so he failed the exam. Jim didn't work hard enough, so he failed the exam.
ジョンソン氏は3人の中で一番速く走りました。
Mr. Johnson ran fastest of the three. Mr. Johnson ran fastest of the three.
コーチのアドバイスに救われました。
The coach's advice saved us. The coach's advice saved us.
この映画を見た人は衝撃を受けました。
Whoever saw the movie was shocked. Whoever saw the movie was shocked.
このラクダは誰でも乗れるほど飼いならされています。
This camel is so tame that anyone can ride it. This camel is so tame that anyone can ride it.
すべての学生が出席したわけではなかったです。
Not all the students were present. Not all the students were present.
夏休みはあっけなく終わってしまいました。
The summer vacation ended all too soon. The summer vacation ended all too soon.
わざわざ声をかける必要はありません。
Don't bother to call on him. Don't bother to call on him.
この箱の蓋は持ち上がりません。
The lid of this box won't lift. The lid of this box won't lift.
あなたは街のこちら側で働いていますか？
Are you working on this side of the city? Are you working on this side of the city?
気温が急に下がりました。
The temperature has suddenly dropped. The temperature has suddenly dropped.
その老人は癌で死にました。
The old man died of cancer. The old man died of cancer.
この事実については秘密にしておかなければなりません。
I must keep a secret with regard to the fact. I must keep a secret with regard to the fact.
あっという間にお金がなくなってしまいました。
I went through my money in a very short time. I went through my money in a very short time.
ここで彼を待っていてください。
Stay here and wait for him, please. Stay here and wait for him, please.
あの男の人と友達になりたいですか？
Would you like to make friends with that man? Would you like to make friends with that man?
家の中ではどこにいても勉強できません。騒がしいので。
I can't study anywhere in my house. It's too noisy. I can't study anywhere in my house. It's too noisy.
ギターを弾くのは楽しいです。
Playing the guitar is fun. Playing the guitar is fun.
あなたは楽器を演奏しますか？
Do you play a musical instrument? Do you play a musical instrument?
少し休暇を取りましょうか。
Taking a little time off? Taking a little time off?
そのニュースは私たちを大いに驚かせました。
The news surprised us much. The news surprised us much.